guess we'll start this off with a little bit of opening of boxes. This one here, I do not know what's in it. I know who sent it, but this person is always very vague about things, and it makes for interesting surprises. So let's see what we got here. So at some point I'm not going to know how to react here exactly. Once again, extremely awesome. Ring doorbell. Awesome. Yeah, I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time, but like, I don't know, I could just never justify paying for one. So, yeah, thank you. Seriously. Definitely have to use a little gift receipt here and send a thank you note back. Wow, cool. Yeah, almost everyone I know has one of these things, and yeah, you get a lot of interesting footage and things with them, but yeah, they have all sorts of accessories for these, wireless, like solar charging, and you can plug them directly into the doorbell wiring and whatnot. But yeah, awesome. Okay, on to the next one. Now, this one, I know exactly what it is. This is a shirt. There's a pinned tweet on my account. It's for MSA, multiple system atrophy. Austin Crawford is a friend of the channel, and actually a friend of mine, that has been battling that. And he's kind of been working on a project to raise some money through car shows and whatnot to get power chairs and other equipment for people with MSA. And I think this is one of the, yeah, this is one of the shirts that, yeah, one of the shirts that he had made. So definitely check out his Instagram. I'll link it below. He goes around, he's got a Dodge Dart that he built up that's, well, he's in the process of building up, but it's really awesome. He's got it done up with a purple stripe on the back for let's see. Yeah, it's like this purple color for MSA. But what he's doing is going around to car shows and selling these shirts. Yeah, that's actually his car there. And the money raised from that, like I said, is going to be for buying power chairs and other equipment that people need for multiple system atrophy. I'll leave a link down below to MSA. Yeah, I need to read. I mean, I know essentially what it is, but I need to actually read up on it and familiarize myself. Sweet, another hat. I didn't even notice. Are you kidding, Austin? So, I'm not a fan of Arby's, and every time he goes to Arby's, he sends me a picture. He sent me a hat. Anytime I wear it, though, I'm gonna have to wear it like this, because I feel like, no offense to anyone who's watching that may work there, I feel like most of the people, you know, wear their hats like this when they're wearing these hats. That's so funny. Alright. Yeah, so, yeah, there's a shirt. It's pretty cool. It's got some of the sponsors or people that have donated stuff there on the back. And yeah, I'll leave... Ooh, screen printing. Yeah, I used to do printing and shirts and things like that, so I'm always real interested in how they do the printing and whatnot. This almost looks like a DTG or direct-to-garment style printing, because it'd be really hard to get these gradients otherwise. Anyways, I'm nerding out. Cool shirt. I don't know if he's selling them online yet. I'm going to talk to him and see if there's a way to get these online. I know the first order he's pretty much already sold out on them. But anyways, on to the next thing. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think I'm going to talk about the Bounder and some other stuff. But it's getting warm in here. I need to turn this air conditioner back on. I've had it off for, let's see, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Check out where the temperature's gotten up to in that amount of time. Yeah, no thanks. And I still need to get an insulated tube for that. Eventually. This seems like a quality surface. I've been playing around with the bounder ever since I got it, trying to figure out different ways to modify stuff or make it better or whatnot. One of the things, well, let me back up. I have the Bounder Plus H-frame with the off-road package. Now, I didn't realize that with the off-road package, the chair is much slower. They're anywhere between 6 and 7 miles an hour, depending on the configuration. And you can't just swap on the faster motors. You basically have to change out all the electronics, the motors, the gears, a whole bunch of stuff. But there is one small modification that can be made, and that is changing out the chain sprocket on the back, where the drive wheels are. Bounder will actually sell you the gears to do this, or I think they want to install it. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but they do have parts available to make this modification, and it gives you about 1 more mile an hour. So, I've been kind of playing around with that, trying to figure out how to work things out. I did get some new gears for the back of the Bounder, and that's how we increase the speed. I've got some footage previously that I filmed for that. I didn't include it in the last video because it was already 40 minutes long. But anyways, let's hop back into that, and I will explain how we did this. You'll have to forgive the sound of the dryer, it's extremely loud, but I think we have something. Metal. So it could have potentially been interesting for, hang on a second here, for whoever was delivering this package. If you notice, it's got a little bit of road rash on it. Actually, that doesn't show up on the camera very well. Anyways, this is all completely blackened, like like it's been sliding on the ground. But it also weighs like, what is this, like 8 pounds? Because we have steel sprockets. So these are for the Bounder. Boy, they stapled the crap out of this. What the heck? Why do they staple this? There we go. Finally. This is a 60-tooth gear that in theory might fit on the Bounder. I'm not 100% sure of this bolt pattern. The hole in the middle should be closer to 2 inches. And when the hole is closer to 2 inches, that means the bolts are right near the edge. So let's grab a tape measure here. Now, either way I can make this work. It just depends on if I'll have to enlist the help of a friend or not. So let's see here. Oh, that's 1 7/8, so 2 is about there. No, I'm pretty sure these holes are gonna have to be re-drilled. But anyways, we'll have more speed here very soon. I didn't wind up taking any video of the process, but the sprockets I changed out are right back here. The old ones were a little bit larger in diameter. These are 60 tooth, and the ones that were on here previously were 72 tooth. I've got a couple photos of those to show you the difference in size. But the only thing with these tires, they are a little bit taller, and there's part, I don't know if you can see it here, there's part of the frame, see that little thing right there that sticks out, and the problem I had previously was I adjusted the suspension on the chair to lower it down because I wanted it to fit in the van. Now that I've moved, this chair doesn't ever have to go into the van, so I raise it back up to stock height. But with the old tires, that little part, where is it? Oh, there we go, that green part up there. That part was rubbing on the tire and it wore out the tread prematurely. But these tires are a little bit larger, so I had to crank the suspension all the way up on this. And this is probably about as far up as you can get the suspension on this thing with stock components. I will leave a link for these particular tires down in the description below, but these things seem to be working pretty well so far. They're 6-ply. And while they are directional, they have a pretty low rolling resistance, actually. They've been working really well for the few days I've had them on here. I also had to remove a few links of the chain when I put the new sprocket on there because it was a little bit too long. That wasn't too hard to do. It was 6 pins or 3 links. I'm not sure how you rate the chain length, but that wasn't too big of a deal to take care of. And yeah, my battery meter is still mounted on here with hot glue. I need to get that properly mounted with a bracket at some point. But that thing's been giving me a lot of useful data. Alright, here's the plan for right now. This air conditioner, obviously sitting on the floor, connected to the vent port, and there's a lot of tubing back there that is not insulated. And that tubing radiates a lot of heat. It's approximately 112 degrees at the moment. So what I'm thinking about doing is lifting this thing up, moving all this over, or somewhere else, and connecting this giant collector directly to that port. Now I've measured and I need to elevate it about 13, 14 inches, something like that. So I think what our mission right now is going to be, we're going to head out and do some looking around to try and find a box or a crate or something that is, actually I need my tape, need to bring my tape measure, that's approximately 13 or 14 inches tall that I can set that air conditioner on top of. Because if I delete that hose, it's going to have better flow and we're not going to have the heat leaking, blah blah blah, physics, thermodynamics, whatever. Ice maker. Okay, let's check and see if our ramp has been cleared out. Well, it's kind of looking like there's some stuff on the sidewalk up here. I don't know if it's been moved off the ramp or not yet, but we'll find out in a second. Now, I guess this is where I try to affect change if I can. Yeah, I could go around. It would take me extra time. I would also potentially have to get on the train to get around this, but it needs to be taken care of. So I called the radio room and they're gonna send someone out here and hopefully do something. I mean, I'm not the only person that uses this bridge and this ramp. It needs to be taken care of, so this is the only way I can think of right now to kind of light a fire under them and hopefully get something done. There's a bunch of broken glass. Dang it. guess I'll have to see if they can kick that out of the way for me.
What's that?
I just got air-filled tires. I don't want to risk it on the
yeah. No, you should have.
Thanks, man. Uh-oh. All the other transients are down there yelling now. Well, I think in the long run, this will help people out. I really appreciate it, though.
Of course. Sorry, you have to deal with this stuff. It shouldn't even come to a point where you have to call me out for this stuff. So it's frustrating about it.
Well, I understand there's kind of a bigger issue, and it's kind of hard to manage and everything, so
yeah,
I don't know.
You know, with the homeless, you end up just moving them from one spot to another.
Yeah.
But that's unacceptable. I mean, you shouldn't have to block up the right of way.
Yeah. Cool. All right, thanks a lot, man. Have a good day.
Of course. Hey, you too. Take care.
Yeah, the officer said he's going to come back down later tonight and make sure the guy's moved. He basically told him he needs to get out of there, so hopefully we're done now. Well, didn't have luck finding a shelf or a box or a crate. So I'll have to figure out some other way to space that air conditioner up. So I guess I could go look down in the recycling room and see if there's some stuff down there that's usable. Anyways, it's a nice day. It's cool to run around. Okay, seriously. I need to break in here for a second and say something to like 4 people. I think I'm just gonna start publishing people's emails with their names because I'm getting kind of tired of this. So last video, I almost get hit in the crosswalk and I was pretty polite, I think. All I said to that person was you need to pay attention. You really gotta just pay attention, okay? Just pay attention. Now, she didn't see me, period. She almost ran into me. Didn't acknowledge me. I mean, she had sunglasses on, so maybe she was doing one of these sort of things, like with the eyes out the other side of the head. But if I hadn't have said something to her, she wouldn't have known. Thus, potentially, it could have injured someone else later. Now, to the 4 of you that keep sending me messages, please watch someone else's videos. If you don't like what happens in real life, this is not the channel for you. I don't normally, I don't get offended by comments very often, but I want to take a moment to say, seriously, go watch something else. That's all I gotta say. Now, back to the video. Sorry about that. Anytime I post a video that has anything to do with anything slightly controversial, or if I raise my voice even slightly, or even if I don't raise my voice and say something that might be perceived as not filled with fluffy bunny rabbits and rainbows, I get emails. And exactly 4 dislikes. It's actually pretty funny. But anyways, it's on the list. Okay, actually there's only 3 things I can't stand. 1 would be Arby's. Actually, we'll go from least to most. So number 3 is Arby's. 2 is people saying ignorant things, but not just being ignorant. Be like saying it in a forceful way, where your advice is obviously the only correct option. Like, I have no problem being corrected and constructive criticism, but when you frame it as, I should have done it differently, obviously, because your way is correct, no thanks. But, I mean, by all means, if you want to correct me on stuff, fine. Just don't be a jerk about it. And number 1 thing I can't stand, Kid Rock. Not even kidding. He drives me insane. Anyways, quick update on this wheelchair. I'm actually going to have to take the motor apart again. It's actually the one on the other side, too. I didn't clean the commutator where the brushes ride, and I should probably put some more grease in there. I only put 1 ounce of that white lithium stuff in there. And as I was editing the video, I realized that, so I pinned a comment at the top. And I do actually appreciate the people that commented about that, because obviously sometimes I forget things and I don't mind being reminded. Yeah, so that thing's gonna have to come apart again. I don't think, well, I might be able to get to it without removing the wheel. We'll see. That might be another project. Can you clean the commutator on a Jazzy 600 ES without removing the wheels? The air conditioning in here is great. I just set it at 70 degrees. I don't need it to be nuts or anything in here, but outside right now, it is 81 degrees. Yeah, 81 degrees outside. And since they changed the ventilation system in this building, it got like 15 degrees warmer in here overnight, and it didn't cool back down. It could potentially have something to do with this space heater that has an Apple logo on it here. That thing puts out a little bit of heat, but anyways, here in America we can combat, what do they call it? Parasitic electrical use by using more electricity. I haven't found anything to set this up on top of yet, but I shortened up the hose a little bit and attached it firmly on both ends. Actually, let's see how warm that is right now. I'm, okay, magical drawers on the wall. Which one has the, nope. Nope. Oh, actually it's over here. That's actually not as bad as I thought. It's like 70 degrees, 93, 75. Yeah, I don't know. I tried test fitting all this and like pushing the TV against the wall, and I got a 5-gallon bucket that was about the right height and spaced it up, and I just didn't like the way it worked, so I don't know. I'm gonna get some old jeans. Oh yeah, I'll go to Ben's and get some old jeans and cut the legs off, and we'll put those over the tube and call that insulation. I think they actually use that in some construction nowadays. They take clothes and jeans and stuff like that and grind them up and turn them into insulation. Alright, anyways, once again another video with clips all over the place. I have no idea what's coming next, but here it comes. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this wheel now. I think something got in one of the bearings. It's making a clicking sound. With the combination though of the new sprockets and the slightly larger tires, which are actually technically the same size on paper. The new tires are the same size on paper, but technically these ones are just a little bit bigger. But between the two mods, we're around 8.5 to 9 miles an hour, depending on things. It's like between 8.3 and like 8.9-ish, depending on the surface and whatnot, and how much pressure you put in those tires. But so far it's been working really well. I'm going to continue with the updates, checking out a few other things on that, and I'll let you guys know once I finally arrive to some conclusions on things, but it is a process. Oh, that was the other thing, is I'm getting a decent amount of caster flutter now, because those front caster wheels are quite large and heavy, and I don't think this setup was designed for the higher speed driving speed, or they weren't set up to go as fast. So I'm gonna have to talk to Bounder and see if there's an easy way to change the tension on that. Most chairs you just tighten the nut on top of the little caster arm connector, but this one I don't know if they have spacers in there or how that's set up. It's usually as simple though as pulling this cap off and tightening down this nut on most chairs, but I want to make sure that it's not going to cause an issue with this one. Some chairs are just supposed to tighten those down as tight as they'll go and leave them, and there is no adjustment. So I want to find out about that before I go screwing around with it, because I don't want to muck this thing up. I found what happens a lot of times with the bearings on these things is it doesn't take much. All you need is just like a little bit of a hair down in there, and it works its way into the rollers and the bearing, and you get those clunking sounds. Now, as I spin the thing, there's no noise at all. I just basically had to go through and pick out all the little tiny pieces of hair that were down in there. And these are rubber shielded bearings, so you don't need to add lubrication to them or anything like that. I put a little bit of load on them and spin it. It's fine. See? No noise. All you hear is that fan in the background. Now, I could be way off base here, but I'm actually putting these back in the original holes they were in. I believe I pulled them forward previously to help clear this foot plate that I installed. And I could be way off base here, but I think maybe having a little bit more trail or having this wheel further back could actually help with my caster flutter issue. So I'm going to change that one as well as I put it back together. But like I said, this is an ongoing process, and I'm testing everything out and figuring out the best way to do everything on this chair, and I will publish the results when I get it figured out. Alright, there we go. I will catch you next time. Okay, I'll almost catch you next time. Check out this other side. There was a fair amount of stuff down inside there. I'm glad I decided to check this because, yeah, twigs and stuff are not supposed to be in your bearings. This was all inside here. Yeah.